साफ है ये। ऐसा कौन करता है? जो लोग हारते हैं ऐसे करते हैं, जो लोग जीतते हैं कभी ऐसा करते हैं?
আমাদের খেলা শান্তিপূর্ণ নীতির লড়াই হবে, আমাদের মার দাঙ্গার খেলা নয়। ওনারা যেটা খেলতে চাইছেন ওনারা শুরু করে দিয়েছেন।
সূর্য রোদ সকালবেলায় সবাই বেরিয়ে এসেছিল, পরিবর্তনের পক্ষে ভোট তো বিরাট লম্বা লাইন।
Hello everyone, good evening. You're watching News Epicenter with me, Maria Shakil. Phase 1 of the Bengal fight has come to a close with polling in 30 seats across 5 districts in the tribal belt of the state. The same region the BJP swept in 2019 and which delivered 27 seats to the TMC back in 2016. Till 6 p.m. the voter turnout was almost 80%. While polling was underway, the political war continued between the BJP and the TMC. BJP's Nandigram candidate Shubhendu Adhikari's brother Somendu Adhikari's car was vandalized by unknown miscreants in the South Kathi region. He has claimed TMC goons were behind the attack when he was on his way to visiting polling booths. Somendu also alleged that TMC workers captured 3 booths in the area and tried to rig the voting process. Meanwhile, BJP's district vice president in Nandigram, Praloy Pal, has alleged that Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee dialed him in the morning and pleaded him to return to the TMC to help win Nandigram. A BJP delegation has submitted the audio clip to the Election Commission, but countering the BJP's allegations, TMC now says it has an audio clip of BJP's Mukul Roy briefing Shishir Bajoria on how to influence the Election Commission. So the political tussle continues as the phase 1 comes to a close, but the big question remains, can the BJP continue its 2019 surge in the region, or will it be Mamata all the way like 2016? This is a high stakes election, so let's decode the stakes as we enter the poll war. So this is how it looks like for the Trinamool Congress. If Mamata Banerjee wins 2nd of May, then it would propel her, catapult her as the regional face who can take on brand Narendra Modi in 2024. So certainly a very, very important do-die battle for Mamata Banerjee in particular. The Chief Minister has taken on the BJP by contesting from Nandigram. She has left her seat of Bhawanipur and has entered Nandigram from where it all began, saying that this is an important battle and she believes in motivating the cadres. If she loses, then the scam taint, the taint of cut money, of corruption on ground, would mean that the party will fail to regroup again, because several members of the Trinamool Congress, including Shubhendu Adhikari, once a close aide of Mamata Banerjee, has jumped the ship and joined the BJP. He is the one taking on the Chief Minister from Nandigram. For the BJP, this would be about keeping the momentum of 2019, where they won 18 seats, which was a surprise grade for the party. Of course, they are looking at newer pastures in the run-up to 2024. They are hoping to gain from mass TMC rebel inductions as well. A number of TMC leaders, from Rajiv Banerjee to a number of them, jumping the ship and joining the BJP just ahead of these crucial polls. The focus, of course, will be on consolidating the women OBC farmers vote. The women voters so far, remember, have been looking at Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. Can they now look at other issues? The BJP saying that the issues of absence of water in certain pockets, which the Prime Minister raised in Purulia, which means the women have to travel long distances to ensure that they fetch water and bring it home. What does it mean for the left and the Congress? Of course, this is a group which is the third front. They have formed a group along with Fursura Sharif ISF. Alliance with ISF could help consolidate the minority vote. Are the Muslims of Bengal looking at ISF part of the third front, or will they be going firmly and voting in an en bloc manner of the Trinamool Congress? If Alliance performs well, then who will they really hurt? Because let's not forget that in 2019, it was the en-bloc shift of the left and the Congress vote to the BJP that made them really get that number. Let me bring in my guests. I can see all of them on our television screens now. Dr. Majumdar is the spokesperson of the BJP. We have Riju Datta, spokesperson of the Congress, Trinamool Congress, Sanjay Kumar, Professor CSDS, Dr. Sajjan Kumar, political researcher associated with People's Pulse. Dr. Sajjan Kumar, your research seems to have set the tone of Bengal elections and the massive churning that we are seeing as well. So what are the factors at play according to you in the first phase?
See, the first phase, I mean, the factors are something that reverberate across Bengal. That is an intense level of anti-incumbency, primarily on account of the corruption and the political repression executed by the local TMC leadership. This is one. Second, Mamta's popularity has taken a dip as compared to 2016, even though she is less unpopular compared to the local leadership. So she won't be able to swing the tide against the TMC this time. Third, that left and Congress is not the credible alternative. BJP is. So despite their organizational weaknesses, despite lack of leadership faces, the party is the default beneficiary because people primarily are voting a vote against the TMC rather than a positive vote for BJP. And further last, the duo of BJP, Narendra Modi and BJP, has already captured the imagination of the people. So people are voting primarily to the symbol, not to the faces.
Sanjay Kumar, for you, the imagery of women voters, will they be looking at Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, a woman Chief Minister, or will they be looking at issues that the BJP says are intrinsic to their daily life and their livelihood? The question is about fetching the water, as the Prime Minister raised in Purulia during the rally.
I mean,
very difficult to make a guess.
Sanjay Kumar. Yes.
Difficult to make a guess, Maria, what women voter are looking forward to in this election. But if there is something to rely upon, it is the data, post-poll data, which we have been gathering for the past elections. And this is the state where Mamata Banerjee as a leader and TMC as a political party has a huge advantage among women voters. We have not witnessed any leader, any political party which has a huge lead among the women voters. In the past election, the lead was up to about say 6, 7, 9% lead among women voters. Remember, women voters are almost equal to the men voters, 48% women voters in West Bengal. And if a party is able to maintain that lead among the section of the voter which constitutes half of the total voters, I think it would be very difficult for any other party to defeat that party which has such a huge edge among one section of voters, which is women. We don't know what is going to happen, how things are unfolding in this election, but I don't see any reason why all of a sudden Trinamool Congress would start losing the huge advantage they have among the women voters. My own sense is that they still have lead among women voters, which puts them ahead of BJP. That's my assessment.
Okay, so the women voters, according to you, may very well be what Mamata Banerjee is, what your assessment is. Let me bring in the political guests now. Riju Datta, what exactly is happening? Why is the Chief Minister dialing BJP's District Vice President in Nandigram, Praloy Pal? He has said it clearly that he got a call and he has put out that audio clip as well. Isn't it embarrassing?
See, Maria, first of all, jumping into your question, you know, Mamata Banerjee, I don't understand if Mamata Banerjee has made a call to somebody, or if somebody calls me, how does it instantly get released to the press and, you know, it comes as a proper audio tape which is submitted by the BJP cadre, BJP representative at the EC Commission. So I think Dalmi yahan par kuch kala hai, and even if she would have called somebody who has left our party for whatever reason and talked to somebody, it is like a true.
So you're not questioning the veracity of these tapes. You're essentially saying that yes, she has called. It's okay for her to call.
As a Democrat, if she has called a person of the party who has left the party, I don't see any malice in that. She's well within her rights to do it, and that's how I think a true leader should function. But Maria, pertaining to the election and the first phase, I have 3 bullet points I'll say quickly. Number 1, the EVMs. Number 2, the booth agents. And number 3, the audio tape. Number 1, EVM. I think EVMs were launched to it was launched as a cure for the malady of these booth capturings, but now it is used for the scientific rigging by the BJP. Third, BJP has submitted a letter to the Election Commission, which was agreed that the polling booth agents can be anywhere as long as they are a voter of West Bengal. This is a true insult of the democracy, because we have also an audio tape between Mukul Roy and Shishir Bajoria, where they say that we do not have enough cadres to give it to our polling booth, so somehow convince the EC to follow these steps.
Why is it that the opposition parties do not talk about rigging or malfunction of the EVM machines when they win elections?
No, see, I will ask you this question. It is not about not talking. You are a very senior journalist. You follow elections throughout the country. But when in the first phase itself, there are more than 100 EVM malfunctions, one particular block, Kathi Dakshin, where you press the Trinamool button and the VVPAT is giving a lotus symbol, it proves that the...
Fine enough. Dr. Majumdar, you know, the tape, audio tape that was released by you is being countered by another audio tape that has been released by the Trinamool Congress here. And they are saying that this is a conversation that has taken place between Mukul Roy and one of your leaders, which is Shishir Bajoria, on how to influence the election commission. Is this how the election will be fought in Bengal?
No, madam. First of all, the people, TMC people, they are comparing two audio tapes. Two audio tapes are totally different. In one audio tape, Mamata Banerjee is calling a BJP leader, and there is a message. You have to read the lines between the lines. There, in a line, Mamata Banerjee has said that "Kono ashubide hobe na" in Bengali. That means there will be no problem. There are some lines between that line. So this is a purely a offer. You can understand to manipulate the election, and the conversation between the Mukul Roy, so-called conversation between the Mukul Roy and Shishir Bajoria. In that conversation, they discuss about the strategy of the party. We will apply for that. They have said that, but if you listen it carefully, they have opted for the agent anywhere from the West Bengal. But Election Commission, and as per my knowledge, they have not allowed them. They allow anyone can be an agent from that assembly on. Voter, the agent should be, booth agent should be any person who will be the voter of that assembly.
Let me ask both of you one question, particularly about the long queues of women voters. I'm going to begin with you, Dr. Majumdar. What does it mean for the party, for the BJP?
We are very hopeful, and I can assure you, this round, that is the first round, first phase, we are 20 plus within the 30. And how far it will go, that I can't predict. But my prediction, please write down it on paper, stamp paper if possible. It will be more than 20. And the women voters are coming. They are annoyed with the government of Didi, because Didi has become the PC now. He is no more Didi. And already the audio tape, which has been released by our party workers, it proves that the Didi has lost the game. Khela hobe na, Khela already says that it is the end of the game, end of the Mamata Banerjee, and it is totally
the election has just begun. How can it be Khela Shesh so quickly? Let's wait and see. Let the election unfold. Riju Datta, women voters.
The environment is so bad. The environment is so that bad.
Okay, can I answer? Yes. I think, Maria, you know very well, there are 49% women voters this time. And where Mamata Banerjee is the symbol of women empowerment, not only in the state, she is one of the biggest symbols of women empowerment in the country. It is quite obvious who the women voters will choose. Who has every way, shape and form, even in the last term also she has said in her manifesto that we are going to give minimum household income to the female head of the family. So I think it is quite obvious that the women voters will vote for Mamata Banerjee. And talking about there, where Sushanto Majumdar was talking about write on stamp papers and all this, Mamata Banerjee has called the defector of the party to somehow say that, you vote for the right party. Let's not
but that defector has already, is a party, position holder. He is district vice president of the BJP. You
Now,
cannot be
Maria,
just making these calls on the day of the
Maria,
election and
Ma-
expecting everything to be taken as
Maria,
just another call. This is not a courtesy call.
This is the proof of the desperateness in TMC, and TMC has lost the game. That's why I am saying, that
Maria, can I
Khela
answer
says
now?
there is no chance
Maria,
of
can I
Khela this
answer?
time.
Okay.
Mamata Banerjee has lost
Maria,
the game.
Yes,
Okay,
Riju.
Maria, I just want to say, then how is it all these defectors joined? The BJP is such a Atmanirbhar party. 90% of their party is from other candidates are from other parties, and at least we don't have to go to
No, but then
foreign
does
soil
it
to
mean,
campaign
no,
for Bengal
Riju
elections.
Datta, that does it mean that Mamata Banerjee will be then calling Shubhendu Adhikari, Rajiv Banerjee and asking them all of them to come back to the TMC? That doesn't work, right? I mean, this is a leader of the party. It's not just another leader. She is the face of the campaign. She is the head of the political party. She is the chief minister of the state, and she is the one who is heard in this audio clip. And the point here is that the TMC is not questioning the authenticity of these tapes. It's saying it's all right to make these calls. And that is where I'm going to bring Sajjan Kumar now. Sajjan Kumar, the women voters and this call by Mamata Banerjee, what does it mean?
See, in my field, fieldwork, I am completely clear that this time gender is not the significant criterion, community is. And secondly, mind it that when corruption and political repression narratives are coming, the victims, at least with under the TMC local leadership, was indiscriminate. So elder women or the young girls, all of them, kind of narrated the sentiment which was reverberated across the male constituency also. So community is the main kind of criterion in terms of political behavior, not the gender. And that is why I do not think that taking clues from the previous elections and previous image of Mamata Banerjee would be the right kind of analysis, because right now the ground has shifted, and despite less unpopularity compared to the local rank and file of TMC, Mamata Banerjee won't be able to pull women voter towards her that she used to do in the past.
Okay, but Sajjan Kumar, elaborate this point we are trying to make about that there will be no gender as a factor in these elections. Why are you saying that gender will not be a factor? And
Gender
what exactly is the community here then?
Community here is clearly in sense, say if you see the first phase and primarily some of the poorest districts like Bankura, Purulia, poorest not only in Bengal, also in country, they fare into the first phases, and therein ideally had the welfare scheme and had the kind of popular image of Mamata been the factor, then the narrative should have been the Jungle Mal should have been the passion of still the strong point of the team, while the narrative is that, the fact is 2019 onward, we see that this is a region where not only BJP swept, but continuously BJP is coming, and even the common sense, and also in my field study, it came that therein BJP has a decisive edge. Why gender is not a kind of thing? Because therein, you see across the category, be it the tribal, Dalits, and OBC Matho Kurmis, these are the subaltern Hindu castes dominate this region. Therein also emerging a sense of aspiration that we also need job, we also need some sort of transparency, etc. And therein at the receiving end, be it employment, lack of employment, and political repression has been people across genders also, and therefore the sense of popular disillusionment is across the community-centric, wherein TMC's corruption repression is also coupled with the popular perception, though Muslim demography is very less in this region, that while we are being left out in terms of developmental and other measures, in terms of the community-centric, TMC on the ground is considered to be a bit soft on Muslims. So therefore, there is a communitarian lines of across caste and category. Hindus are consolidated behind the BJP, while Muslims, even a significant section of the Muslims who that earlier they had been voting to Congress and left, for example, in areas like Murshidabad, Malda, etc., a significant section is moving to the TMC. So election is bipolar. Community is the main criterion. Gender is not a significant criterion. Therefore, I do not think that Mamata Banerjee factor and the gender factor is going to be a significant factor in terms of determining the voting behavior this time.
So you're emphasizing on aspiration, that increasingly we are seeing since 2014 that elections, Sanjay Kumar, is being fought on aspiration. The issues of jobs, opportunities are becoming the central narrative of these elections. But Sanjay Kumar, throughout these elections, we are seeing a canvas on which there are multiple issues. There are cultural battle that is happening between the two sides. There is an issue also of appeasement, with the BJP says that, the TMC has been indulging in minority appeasement. There is a caste narrative as well. and of course the women voters that you have been talking about. Here is another narrative that is coming in from another analyst. Are you also emphasizing on the aspirational voter, which will be rising on the issue of jobs and voting on what this particular party has in store for him, looking at perhaps BJP because it is about experimenting after 10 years of the TMC?
At the national level, I think the point of aspiration, no more I think people are going to be swayed away with this whole idea of aspiration, because for the last 6-7 years I think there is a mellowed down effect of people thinking that BJP would come and it would deliver magic to the people. So that euphoria is slightly going down. But in West Bengal, the narrative is slightly different. Yes, people have aspirations because people have seen 10 years of TMC government, and they think that if BJP comes to power, things will change in West Bengal, and that is why we see the kind of euphoria we are witnessing in favor of BJP. But I think if you look at the campaign carefully, Mamata Banerjee and TMC also understands that there is a sense of aspiration among the youth, cutting across caste communities, etc., which is also among women. But in order to counter that, TMC's whole focus, the election is getting focused on Mamata Banerjee as a person. So the all these narratives of caste equations, aspirations, water, corruption, etc., those are simmering thing across the state. I am not saying people are not talking about those issues, but finally I think the clever campaign of TMC would be, and I think they are trying to focus that, it is a vote for Mamata or it is a vote against Mamata Banerjee. So all those people who want to vote for Mamata, they have to come and vote for Mamata Banerjee irrespective of whether they have anxieties about these issues, whether they have got something in TMC's rule or not. So I think, as I have said on earlier shows also,
yes,
Mamata Banerjee is the key issue in this election, and once she is putting herself in front of this election, these anxieties, simmering anxieties are getting subdued slowly as we progress from one phase to another.
And Sanjay Kumar, the question is also if Mamata Banerjee has made her the centerpiece of this election, whether it's an election to vote her in or vote her out, the question is also, can she insulate herself from what is evident anger against her party men on ground, particularly on the question of cut money and corruption?
No, I can see the clear difference. People are not against Mamata Banerjee the way people are against the local party cadres. Yes, I do get a sense that people are not happy with the local party cadres because of all the things which many panelists have mentioned, Sajjan has also mentioned. But that is the point. Mamata Banerjee is trying to, contest the election the way Narendra Modi contested the 2014 and the 2019 elections. You remember Prime Minister Modi used to say, this is a vote in favor of Modi. Don't look at the candidate. Who is your candidate?
Yes.
Same kind of a campaign is being done by Mamata Banerjee now these days. Don't look at the candidate. If you want me back in power, vote for me. Don't look at the candidates. I think this strategy will at least create that little bit of gap between people's anger with the party leader, cadres, but they will still say, okay, Mamata Banerjee is now asking us to vote for her, and if they still want her to continue as the chief minister, they will vote for her. So my sense is that this will work. To what extent I don't know, but I think this is working in favor of TMC compared to the ground which was laid by BJP during last couple of months.
All right, Riju Datta, Dr. Sajjan Kumar, Sanjay Kumar and Dr. Majumdar, thank you so much for joining us and decoding the entire election for us and helping us understand the issues on ground. That's all from me. Thanks so much for watching it.